used on propaganda recruitment vids. The idea of one of America's finest getting shredded by Krell stinger fire wouldn't sit well with the folks back home. Mason had some big boots to fill, and she was already the sixth replacement that I'd taken on, the other five having failed miserably to meet my expectations. I thought briefly of Michael Blake, Mason's distant predecessor, but buried the memory as quickly as it surfaced. "We're approaching Marrow Prime," I said, activating a condensed holo briefing on my wrist comp. Marrow Prime was an angry red planet composed entirely of molten lava, star-bright, palpably hot, even at this distance. It had no surface, instead being held together by the dynamics of gravitational and tidal forces far too complex for a grunt like me to understand. A structure came into view in orbit around Marrow, gliding above the roiling lava seas. "This is Far Eye Observatory." The facility was a painfully delicate latticework construction, a collection of bubble domes, solar vanes, and spherical crew modules. A series of huge radar dishes sat on the station's spine, all pointed into deep space. Many components had taken obvious damage, with large chunks of the rigging punctured and the whole structure leaning at a precarious angle. 2 days ago, I explained, Far Eye began to slide from its orbital position. "It's being sucked off," said Kaminsky, sniggering. "Or sucked down, depending on how you see it." I ignored Kaminsky. Doing otherwise would only encourage him. "The station suffered a malfunction in the primary grav shunt," I said. "As a result, its orbit is in rapid decline. Command wants us to retrieve the personnel. In particular, they want this man." The image of a thin-faced Psi-Div officer appeared on all 5 faceplates. Tanned skin, Persian stock. By Earth standard years, he was in his early 50s. He had dark eyes and hair, a beard, rough-grown, peppered gray. "Our HVT is Professor Ashan Saul." HVT, high-value target. I'd already researched Saul, who he was, where he had served. It made for interesting reading. Despite his Iranian heritage, his bloodline was long retired to the core worlds. He was a xenolinguist by profession, specializing in the interpretation of alien language. That particular detail had instantly grabbed my attention. There were also huge empty periods in Saul's scientific career, blocks of time when he was inexplicably absent from recorded duty. Nothing stunk of covert ops involvement quite like an unexplained black line through your last posting. "So they sent 6 SimOps teams out into the quarantine zone to rescue one man?" Martinez asked. "Seems like overkill." "I said we're supposed to bring all personnel back, and it's made more complex by this." I adjusted the external camera controls so that a wider graphic of space surrounding Marrow Prime became visible. The sector was literally full of activity. Flocks of fighters wove between larger vessels, Alliance ships chasing down Krell biofighters. There were 3 Alliance warships anchored in high orbit: the Mallard, the Washington's Paragon, and the Peace of Seattle. Assault cruisers with enough onboard firepower to level a small planet. They faced off against 6 advancing Krell starships of unknown designation, ranging in threat category. The alien vessels were variations on an aquatic theme. Black as space, shaped like mutant mollusks. Both groups were on full offensive, firing torpedoes, railguns, flak cannons. The battle space within a few thousand clicks was alight with plasma, the immediate and empty explosions of ships dying in vacuum. Tracer fire slid overhead. Alliance tech met with Krell organic equivalents. I picked out the Mallard somewhere in the fray, null shields flaring, laser batteries bristling. Our real bodies in the Mallard's Simulant Operations Center were our vulnerability. One stray missile to the Mallard,